Hello everyone. This is the East Coast Economic Update here on January the 23rd, 2009. It's about 10 after 10 Eastern Standard Time on Friday. The markets are right at this moment down 151, almost 152 points. Today I want to read something to you. I have for those of you who know Gerald Celente and his company called the Trends Institute, I got a 2-year subscription from them, and beyond what they usually send me, which is a quarterly report of trends that will be happening, they also send me alerts via the email. I received this email 2 o'clock or 2:30 this morning, and when I read it I thought I should share it with everyone. I'm going to skip over parts, but the title of this is a code red. They have different codes: code yellow, code green, code whatever. Same idea as the Homeland Security thing. Basically said title of the code red was economy in collapse. Drastic actions will be taken. I'm skipping over. They're basically talking about Barack Obama has shattered popularity polls, but this is what I wanted to read to you. Quote. According to the Trends Research Institute director, the new president, who is the director is Gerald Celente, the new president, Barack Obama, who swept into the White House on a tidal wave of unprecedented enthusiasm and the blessings of a strong majority, will have free rein to take whatever actions he deems necessary. And basically, I'm just skipping over because I just don't want to go through everything. Quote, he's quoting somebody, whatever Obama wants, Obama gets. Desperate, scared, and not knowing what to survive the economic storm. People are seeking a messiah, similar to what I was saying earlier, to save them. Obama is their man, said Celente. The 332-point stock market decline that greeted Mr. Obama into office, a record breaker for Inauguration Day, and today's, meaning yesterday's, 105-point market decline will be followed by a steady stream of worsening economic news, major financial calamities. Gerald Celente forecast. Just as President Bush exploited 9/11 as a pretext to wage war on terror, invade Iraq, and abrogate the Constitution and exhort his broad executive powers through bipartisan support, President Obama will be given the greater latitude to fight a war on economic terror, predicts Celente. For example, and I'm reading this directly off of his website, for example, Timothy Geithner, President Obama's nominee for Treasury Secretary, has pledged to expand and prolong governmental intervention in financial markets. He said his economic team would take forceful and substantial action on a very dramatic scale to forge an intricate strategy on how best to achieve currency realignment. And this is the part I really wanted to show you. He subtitles this, Blame the Little People. In his inauguration speech, President Obama warned Americans of tough times ahead and for the need for greater sacrifices. In doing so, the president placed equal blame for the global financial crisis on the public's collective failure to make hard choices, along with those consequences of greed and irresponsibility on the part of some. The president is correct. I'm still quoting. Many have spent beyond their means, borrowed themselves into debt, took risks playing on the markets, speculating on real estate, Celente says. But comparing Main Street's financial missteps to the large-scale corruption and criminality of the banks, brokers, insurance companies, hedge fund operators, mortgage companies, rating agencies, and buyout firms that cooked the books, enriched the executives, ripped off the clients, rigged the numbers, is further evidence that Obama is a Wall Street man. And finally, the trend post, and I'll make my own comment in a second. The trend post that he's pointing is, do you know where your money is? Is it safe? Will you be able to get it when you need it? What will be, what will you do if the trading is temporarily suspended on Wall Street? Will you be able to redeem your CDs? Basically, he goes on to say that basically that there will be a bank holiday. There have been incredible parallels, forced parallels by Barack Obama about how he's like FDR or Abraham Lincoln. He's more acting like FDR by force. It's not like, oh, he's doing the same steps because he feels it's the right way to do it, but he's trying to emulate a gentleman who went through a similar situation. Now, if you don't think that the government of the United States thinks we're not in a Great Depression, you must be smoking stuff that's much better than what I'm smoking, because they do believe it's a depression. It is a depression. It's been a depression. Yes, it was a recession back in 2007, but by June of 2008, we were already in a depressive state. My point is, at this point, I've done everything I can personally to collect whatever monies I have. I do have money in a bank. I have it in a credit union. That is no guarantee that it's going to be safe. And I am trying to generate income through my primary business and also buying seeds and whatever else. But I think what Celente is saying, and he has said, which is the fact that the markets are going to drop markedly. Now, I may be wrong, and it may not reach 7,500, the Dow that is, today, but it's very strong that it'll be very close. It has to drop. It has to have a massive collapse. Otherwise, Mr. Obama will not have the Wall Street and Main Street begging them to nationalize everything. This is very close to a post-Weimar situation. I'm not saying that Obama is Adolf Hitler. Please don't get me wrong. But what I am saying is nationalism and socialism, National Socialism, fascism in its entirety, starts out looking like socialism and ends up being a totalitarian state. All communist, all socialist organizations that are on such a large scale historically have all turned into fascism. Stalin's Russia, Hitler's Europe, most of Europe when he had taken most of it over, and now here in the United States. Revolutions never happen where people take up guns and point it in your face. It's usually the people that are begging on their hands and knees for these, taking away of rights and what have you. Don't forget what happened on 9/11. Everybody flipped out. Even Congress, would do anything short of making, George Bush king of the world. So they're not whoever they are, and you can speculate whomever you wish, but whoever the powers that be are, never take your rights. You give them away. So in the next few weeks, Mr. Celente in his quarterly journal indicated that by mid to late February to early March, there'll be riots and people are going to be asking for security. Now, don't forget also, there's a little thing on Bloomberg. I'm going to see if I can find it. But jobless claims already, initial jobless claims in the last 2 weeks are already over 500 to 600,000. By the end of this month, I predict through Shadow Stats has already vindicated me in the sense that we're going to be close to over 5 million people unemployed. They're probably going to push it back as much as they can, but it's going to be over 4 million unemployed and are on the doles. So this is what I'm leaving with you today. Keep an eye on the markets. Also to remind you, keep an eye on the treasuries. The treasuries are lowering. They're kind of vacillating back and forth, but people are jumping into them. And like I said, when people get out, the interest rate goes up, and less of governments like China and India and so forth are buying our debt. In fact, the Federal Reserve is buying our debt. So now that they've run out of money to manipulate the stock market, now they're going to be in the bond market. And we'll see what happens. So keep vigilant. Let me know what's going on in your area. As you know, I had to lay off 2 people, and I placed myself in part-time status to save my my manager's salary. So we're going to see what happens, and let's see what happens with the markets. The bottom for me, I think, will be around 5,000, like I had said before. That's the earliest number I could find from the last bubble, which started in 1995. Okay, so that's it for the economic update. Good luck, guys.